All right, we're back here at offroadpress.com talking about the King of the Hammers. Full week of excitement out there, and we're finally
talking about it.
We're finally up to Thursday. We've got 2 races on Thursday and contingency. We'll start with the UTV race. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this UTV race that has grown? Started off with just a couple guys 3 years ago, and now we're in our 3rd year, and we have like 40 guys signed up for this race.
Yeah, the big things, we still have our sponsors back. Pitbull Tires, still our title sponsor for the race. But the new thing for this year was working with the International Side-by-Side Association and Side-by-Side Performance, and to try to put this thing together and get more racers out there. So we went from 16 guys last year. We have almost 40 signed up this year, and more classes. You can speak more about that.
The biggest thing I think with that is the addition of classes. There was a little bit of blowback on the internet from people saying, hey, we don't think there should be classes, but the reality of it is you're still racing for the overall. The money's still attached at the top tier. And it just gives an opportunity for more guys to get in the game and go out and experience this great race.
Absolutely.
So you've got a lot of desert going on. What kind of mileage do you have in mind? Can you give us some sort of an idea on the race course for the UTVs?
You're sitting at about 75 miles. It's harder than the stock course, but not as hard as the Ultra 4 course. So there's some really significant rocks in there.
So I know there's a couple racers. Casey Curry's one of the guys that we've been out with this year, and he was hitting me up, and I'm like, I'm not the guy. Always asking for more rocks.
That's actually the thing. 2 years ago we kept hearing it's too hard. So we dumbed it down last year. Then last year it was too easy. It's too easy. Now a lot of the guys are saying just make it hard and bring it. So you're going to get your car through. I don't want to break you. I don't want you to hurt your vehicles, but it's going to be hard. I mean, if you want a desert race, there are desert racing organizations. If you want the hardest race in the country, there's King of the Hammers.
Glad to hear that that's coming back. I think that's really going to make it a really tough race for those guys.
Yep.
So UTV race, that's going off on Thursday. What time does that start?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock a.m. UTV race starts. And then you guys have added the King of the Motos. Finally a motorcycle race in the United States that's super difficult, bringing back that Erzberg-style racing to the United States with the King of the Motos out at the King of the Hammers. Why don't you give us a rundown on that?
Yeah, I've got a couple. Kirk Caselli's the National Hare and Hound racer, is also the Works champion. He's committed. I've heard some big names mentioned. Jimmy Lewis is the editor of Dirt Rider. He approached me about a month and a half ago and said, can you make this happen? I'd be interested in working with you on this. And we've talked about this for years. We've talked about it for almost from the beginning. And I think it's a huge opportunity. It's a completely crossover demographic, an entirely new audience that's going to be watching, and I think it's a great opportunity. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be the hardest course in the country.
It's something that I was really wanted to have happen. We never were able to put it together. Time just didn't allow. I'm super excited about seeing this race. So You've got the wide open desert, you've got the rocks, and then I assume you guys are going to add some single track in some hill climbs.
It's a mirror of OG race. It's no entry fee. The OG race had a case of beer that says $10,000 to the winner, but there's no entry fee, and we're only taking 20 guys. It's invite only, and it's going to be everything. So there's unlimited bikes. I don't care what you have. You can run a 650, you can run a trials bike. I don't care. The desert's going to even you out. The trials bikes aren't going to go fast enough in the desert, and the guys on the desert bikes aren't going to be able to go fast in the rocks. What's it take? And that's what we're going to find out.
So have you got all your 20 guys? Care to give us any hints on who you have?
Like I said, Kurt's the big name that's committed so far. They're going to be building a bike here pretty quick. I've heard some big names, but I don't want to say them, and come up short. But the guys that win Erzberg are talking about racing here.
Excellent.
So
you got all that action plus contingency on Thursday. Come out, meet the drivers, go through the contingency row. You can buy stuff at the vendor's booth. 4-Wheel Parts, I assume, is back out there,
of course,
bringing parts out to everybody who needs them.
2 runs a day. Ring and pinions are on order every day.
So it sounds like a great big day of racing leading up to the main event on Friday. So we look forward to talking to you a little bit about that in the next episode.